March, I got 4,368 Primo Gems and 5.4 million more. In April, I got 6,483 Primo Gems and 4.9 million more. 48% more Primo Gems, 9% more, less more. Only a small amount less. This month, so far, I've gotten 2693. Really, I've gotten significantly less than the previous months. Well, that's because I didn't do a lot of the events at the end of the month. Like I should have, or during the start of this month. I probably would have fixed it, wouldn't it have? Dear Lord, it's loading a long time, ain't it? You also might notice it's quieter in here. I just had to turn off the. It's raining outside, so it's not super warm in here, or in the house generally at all. So I turned off the box fan and the AC unit. So it's quiet in here. What? Wow, this game's. I guess it's just the game itself loading on for a while. Ah, there it is. Honestly, I think I can bring. What games do I have in the main drive right now? They're probably swapping out. I'll swap some games around in a bit. Also, it's Monday, so.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Okay, we go here. Grab all this shit.
If you ever.
Also, I think we finally got the official. I haven't actually checked it, but I've seen people talking about it. I think we finally got the official drip marketing for Sandrone, which is cool, and it makes sense because she's coming in the next version. Of course, people are still going to start complaining about the model changes. I do not care about the changes to her design. I think she still looks fine. I just want to make that absolutely abundantly clear right now. I do not care about the changes to her design. I was just talking about the start of the week. Okay. Oh yeah, wait, the second one of these now. Check something quick. Okay, we're very close to getting the next Digimon slot, which is nice. I missed the last one, I think. So, yeah, shucks. Okay, let's go do this today. I'm gonna continue farming the shit out of this for Sandrone, and also just because I need to have more of the new stuff, because, well, you typically want more of the new stuff. Because that's what a lot of the characters coming out that are new are going to want. So, you know. Plus, it's where all the people are. So I'm more likely to get into a world with a person. And actually be able to play with other people. Dear Lord, is it loading slowly. Yeah, I really need to swap things out on here. It is really bad right now. Oh, yeah, I definitely gonna want to swap the games that I have on around. Like, yeah, his jumping isn't even loading in yet. His jumping sound. There it is. I'm gonna let the game sit here and load for a bit because it's just going real slow. Well, I saw some people comparing the the drip marking art to the Herda's art, and people are like, "Dang, the Herda in Genshin." I was like, "Yeah, what?" She's next. She's a what I like to call a half XP, and it was designed to be this way from the start.
I like to drink on occasion. Any and every occasion. Good one.
Yeah, like a half XP is a character who is an XP, but not like to the point where they share a name and direct character design. They just share a lot of the same elements. For example, you could say Promia is meant to be Zenless's Acheron, but to me, Zenless's Acheron actually is Miyabi. And by Acheron, I mean like Raiden May. Or I think Miyabi shares the most traits
On me.
that would make the most sense to put her with the rest of them. Um, Another example would be you might think that the second Sushong after Li Sushong from HI3 was Sushong in HSR, but no! One of the first characters in Genshin is the second Sushong. Xiangling! Xiangling is the second Sushong. Not only does she actually share some design traits with her directly in her design, but also in what she does. Li Sushong is a chef. Xiangling is a chef. They have somewhat similar names. It's pretty clear to me that she's meant to be like the second of them. I noticed this when I first played HI3 and I saw Sushong. Um, Top of this, there are probably some other characters in here that I haven't thought of immediately. But, for example, Barbara and Hyacinth are both half XPs of each other. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but that's basically what it is. And Sandrone is meant to be an XP, a half XP of the Herda, at least with my understanding. That was weird. Oh, good.
Sure feels good to get away from my desk. Now, where's a good spot for a nap?
Ooh, 95 Raya. That's pretty base. Yeah, the game is super laggy. I mean, Genshin's one of the games I don't have to touch for a bit, so.
Such defiance.
I can't even see the enemies.
Our little secret. I think not.
On me.
Yeah, Sandrone is meant to be. Sure, she shares a lot of design elements with the Herda, and the fact that people didn't catch that on immediately is kind of funny. But people are only talking about it now. At least I've only seen people talking about it. Of course, to be fair, people seem to focus too much on the like super noticeable XPs that people tend to not realize the more subtle ones that exist within the cast. And it's kind of funny. I'm trying to think, there were some other examples. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. Oh, Saridra and Farina. Saridra and Farina are two great examples as well. They share so many design elements. And people did talk about it originally, but I feel like people, if they were asked to name every XP, they would probably not fully realize it. Of course, some of the Raiden ones definitely took a while to understand, because Acheron in particular took a while because it took until the end of the Penacony quest to have her name drop her name being Raiden Bozen Mori May, of course being directly referencing Raiden May from the original HI3. Raiden Shogun was obviously pretty obvious because her name is just Raiden Shogun. And then you have Miyabi, which most people probably don't recognize like I do. I consider her to be one because the whole sword thing, as well as the like all the like. If you've never looked at Miyabi's design, you'll notice that it has a lot of like Japanese iconography, which is often directly correlated with the Raiden group because Raiden itself is a Japanese title.
Heaven's will made mine.
On
At
me.
least that's how I see it as being related. Yeah. I feel like that's more of a agree to disagree thing, though. Miyabi's definitely one of the lesser half XPs. Promiya only shares traits with Acheron, having the same hair color. Other than that, they don't share anything. What am I hearing? Sound like someone was infinitely falling. Chow's long pole. Nice name. It's left, bro. People were just starting to join. You gotta wait a bit for the server to catch up. Emmy, where's this Emmy? Oh, he's all over there. Alrighty. I remember, does Pyro override everything? He does, damn it.
Up the ante. Up the ante.
Juice on the loose. Be gone.
Flash. Flurry and freezing. That's far enough.
Heaven's will made mine. First, the flavor. Not bad. Attack the prostate. I think not.
Still targeting me? Ow. Yeah, the game's definitely been lagging a lot more today than it has usually. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting tip. I mean, that probably won't. Huh. I mean, I've never really had that ever like come up. That is interesting. Enemies don't produce drops from far away. And from the same logic, if you put someone down a long shaft, they probably won't drop anything because they're too far away. I've never actually tried to kill an enemy with fall damage, but I guess if some people tried that, it would work. Yeah, fall damage is hardly consistent to use. Is it strong? Yes, fall damage does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, you're never really going to come across the need for it. Okay, let's go through the stuff. Hopefully before I lag myself out of my own mind. At least you can focus less on crit rate. I think I'll take this one. The ER and crit is nice. Not the best, but it is nice. If we ever get a Noelle upgrade, that would actually be nice.
I like to drink on occasion. Any in it?
Okay, let's continue through this crap.
Every occasion.
Getting a surprising amount of crit for a character that doesn't need it.
Good one. This land has nothing but promise for adventurers from
Let's check the stuff that's on Remy right now. We're also pretty likely to get something other than Witch's Homework. Witch's Homework makes sense for Mondstadt specifically, but doesn't make sense pretty much anywhere outside of it. I could definitely throw Star Rail into onto the other SSD if it's not already on it, because it's not a super resource intensive game. It doesn't have to load nearly as much as Genshin does, because Genshin's open world.